How's everything?
Everything is absolutely perfect.
Fantastic.
That has been like a crazy, amazing week so far.
Well, I think it's been a crazy, amazing last year and a half for you, I would imagine, because everyone I know is talking about Sartory Billard, right? Like everyone I know is like, oh, do you have one yet? This is cool. I'm going to buy one. You know, I've already bought one. So you have been someone that's really captivated the watch collector's imagination.
That's very nice for you to say this. I mean, it touched me deeply. I mean, this is really heartwarming because I'm kind of new in this industry, so I'm working a lot, but I just love so much this work I'm doing now because I had a previous job. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the feeling I'm working every day. I'm just creating. It's just an amazing situation.
I think that's like the best feeling in the world.
Yes, that's the best feeling in the world. When you're working and you don't have the feeling of actually working.
Yes.
It's incredible. I sent you some images just now, and I don't know. Yeah, okay.
So I think that for every brand there's always, or every watchmaker, there's always one watch that becomes very iconic to them, right? So, for example, with De Bethune, the DB28, which is what I'm wearing here,
becomes. God, give me your arm.
This is a cool one. This is a DB28, kind of blue tourbillon.
Oh yes, I love this. Yeah. I've never seen in the flesh. I've never seen this watch in the metal, but
when we have drinks together, finally, I'll wear it and we can hang out.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, it has been debated, but it's known, and I pay so much respect for them. I mean, you probably know the story. I told you, I fell in love with titanium because of the Bethune, so I owe them a lot. And yeah, it has been a crazy inspiration for me, as well as other watchmakers. And the more involved, the more passionate they are, the more extreme they are in their art. Mostly inspired by people doing things on their own or very, very small team. Because I like the creative impulse of small teams, so it feeds me every day. So
awesome. So in the same way, the DB28 is a bit like the icon of De Bethune. The SB04 became one of the darlings of social media, of the internet, and it became a watch that everyone wanted to have, right? So I love this watch. Maybe we can start by talking about this. What, like for you, do you think is the reason why everyone became so in love with this watch?
I think because it's a perfect watch to support everybody's creative part. I'm absolutely deeply sure that everybody has a creative part within itself, but sometimes it's really difficult to express it. Some people do painting, music, sports, or whatever, and some people they just have ideas for watches they want to express, they want to create, and they don't really find the guy who can make it. But that was my most deeply interest, to create watches that people can just. I'm not making watches for people. I'm just the hands making watches for them, and people would come with their taste, with their impulses, with their ideas, and I would just be the hands, being really opened for their ideas and thoughts, and not judging any kind of taste. I found this very pretentious to say. I mean, we're having like fancies and color shirts. I mean, look at your shirt, look at mine. Some people would judge, like, why you don't wearing like a white shirt with a suit? I mean, you should be dressed like this. No, I mean, I don't have to. So yeah, I mean, everybody stays. We get tattoos, you and I. So it's really personal. This is creative. So it's the same for watchmaking. People, they want to have a very personal watch. So I'm there to supply this. So that's all.
Yeah, I love that. I think it was Marcel Proust that said that style is the revelation of the universe that each of us sees, but it's unseen by others. So everyone has in their mind something like a dream they want to make manifest. And it's great to have a brand like yours that is open to taking those ideas, transmitting them into the watch and making them a reality, And I think for people, that's a wonderful thing to have.
It's both how do you say what is the contrary of egoist? How do you say this in English?
Self-effacing or humble.
Yeah, okay. So it's at the same time something that I'm making for others, and sometimes also and at the same time an egoist quest. Because
right.
because when people they come and say, oh, I want this kind of dial and this kind of finishes on the thing, this is the request for them, and this is also egoist for me to accept because I'm willing to do better. And the watch that I've been doing 1.5 years ago are different than the one that I'm doing today. The ones today are probably better on some sides because everything is improving months after months. So it's an egoist quest also to learn as much as I can in watchmaking because I'm self-taught. So every client's coming with a new idea. I say, oh, okay, how can I make this? And sometimes it takes a year, and sometimes the project doesn't even come through. A year ago, a client contacted me if I could do a titanium Milky Way on a dial. And I said, okay. So I made trials, heating randomly the titanium. That was crap, honestly. And so I said to the guy, he gave me this image of the Milky Way he wanted. I said, it's not nice. I'm sorry, it's really bad. And of course, I'm making most of the dies, but I'm not making all the dies. And 1 month ago, I met through a relation, a Swiss guy who knew a woman who has been doing a Milky Way on the dial with enamel.
Ah, nice.
And I said, okay. So I contacted this woman. And so she showed me some dial design, and that was gorgeous. She's just making this most crazy realistic paint with enamel only. And it's not cloisonné, it's just enamel. So it's crazy work. And she made something that looked like a Milky Way. So I presented this to the client. The client was really excited. The price was too high for him. So the project didn't go at the end. But I found now a girl, this woman in Switzerland, that can make something. If another guy comes with a budget and say, okay, I want a Milky Way enamel dial, I say, this is this kind of crazy budget, but yeah, I could do it. So it's every month gives me a new impulse, a new thing to learn, a new something to do. So it's just amazing.
Well, I love the fact that you're evolving both artistically and also in terms of the watches you're creating. So the SB04 has become your iconic watch, but you are going to be launching soon the SB05, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I think one of the things you told me you wanted to address was the size, right? On the SB04, we have 40 mm by 11 mm, so relatively thick, and it's also using, I think, an STP movement. But in the new watch, you have 38.5 by 8.5, and you're using a very beautiful La Jouperet movement. Tell us a little bit about this watch.
Spot on. This is yes. The SB05 couldn't be today presented if I hasn't been working so much on the SB04 and listening to my client and customer request. The first point was the size. Yes, a little bit smaller, a little bit slimmer. Most of my clients were not so much concerned about the budget, but they would say, "Oh, the movement could be a little bit nicer." So I wanted a small second because I'm not willing to add some very much complications. So, but a small second was something very nice, and so I worked really nicely and really hard also with La Jouperet to have this is a movement with the reference is 7380. Which is a manual one, very, very slim. It's 2.5 millimeter, 2.7 millimeter thick. It has 90 hours of power reserve. It has a double barrel. It's a very, very nice, very sweet movement. I could have my own finishes on this. I wanted something that reminds the touch of the SB04, which is a circular brush. Like I did so many dials in titanium like this. I didn't want the classical Geneva stripes or, I wanted something a little bit modern, but not too modern because now you have these old black watches on the movement. And I found probably a little bit annoying after a few months. So I went for this slate gray circular brush for the main platine. bridges on the watch. And the third one, the smallest one, has sandblasted dark finish, which is a little bit modern, but I found it cool also to have like a little bit of rupture in style or finishes within the same part. So it gives a little bit of tweak. I found it's cool.
I love that you've done a sandblasting on the balance cock, right? And
Yeah.
then brushing in the slate gray on the rest of the movement. Stunning watch. And I guess we should tell people, because if this movement's only just over 2 mm, the reason why you need a little bit of volume in your watches is because of your dials, right? Because you make some of the most complicated dials in watchmaking.
Not the most complicated, but I'm having quite a lot of fun to propose a lot of options. And this is really how the SBO5 was built. It's how my clients can express the creativity through the watch, having much more possibilities than the SBO4. So the dial has 3 parts that are physically separated, and every client can change. So this is the hour part, so the central part, which is I call the hour dial. You have the minute dial, which is under the numbers. I say under because the numbers, they are stamped on a sapphire plate that floats above the dial. I made this choice because I can have a lot of different dials. They can be guilloche, they can be stone, they can be polished titanium, they can be hand hammered, whatever. And if I would go for a very classical construction of pinned numbers on it, I would face sometimes limitations. So I say, okay, the most free way to have numbers is to use a sapphire plate to be above, and so the numbers can be stamped and the numbers can be changed. You can have like these European style numbers, you can have Arabic Indian numbers, you can have Chinese, you can have like a Roman numerals. Because it's stamped, it's really easy to change. Even if a client comes and say, okay, look, for instance, I'm from the Gujarati province in India, and they have this lovely writing, and I have my own numerals, I would make this. Okay, this is an example with Indian numerals. And so every part can be changed and decided by the client to have a different finish. And the hands also are in separated parts, especially the hour and then the minute hand. They are both in 2 parts, and they can be changed in color and to other. It's like a puzzle. The SBO5 is a creative puzzle, and I'm really happy to say that I've been working with the most amazing people on this. We'll get to know each other way, but I'm always pushing my suppliers ahead in front of me, because I don't believe in the all in-house or the fake all in-house. Where you just scratch the surface for 2 minutes and you just find that the all in-house is a lie, and you have suppliers. But I don't know why the watchmaking industry has been in this trend for the last decade to say, oh, it's all vertically made, all in-house, because the watchmaking industry has been a suppliers and a subcontractor industry for centuries. And so I'm working in a very close relation for them, and always saying who make the parts for me. I'm not taking the credit for something that I'm not doing myself. So, but I'm also now working with the best in the industries, because they gave me this quality and this peace of mind when I have the parts. So the technical drawings of the SBO5 is the first that I haven't been doing myself. So far, I've been, of course, always doing the design, but I was making the technical drawings for the SBO 1, 2, 3, 4. And I gave the technical construction of the SBO5 to Comblemine. They're making dials for me. They're making guilloche dials. And they make also technical watch studies. So they made this study for me. And due to my request with a sapphire sub-dial and floating, everything was a little bit complicated, but they've been amazing. And the case will be made by their sister company, which is called Vutalinen und Catin SA, Société Anonyme. You would recognize a certain name inside this company. But it gives me the credit for quality.
Yes.
Because it's transparency in a way. You can have, sometimes you would buy a piece, very expensive piece, and you say, where is the case has been made? And it would be like a little bit blurry or something. But I would say for the SBO4, okay, I have my subcontractor SLD, which is in the Jura Suisse. I'm working in another range with Michel Marquis in the Jura Suisse. You can call these guys. You can, and if you're saying that I'm giving the case making to Vutalin and Catin company, it's a seal of quality. This is a seal of transparency. This is a seal of origin. These parts are made in Switzerland that I bring back in my workshop in France, where I will make most of the parts myself. So I had a talk last week with the French customs because I'm importing, exporting pieces and stuff like this. And they say, but you could apply made in France in your watches. I said, yes, I could apply made in France about watches, but I think my clients, they don't really care about where it's made. I mean, I could make them in France, I could make them in Germany, I could make them in Singapore. It doesn't really care. The more important is where does it come from? What is the origin of the components? So it's written, so it's pushed forward ahead of me, and I'm saying, okay, you have a movement from La Jouperet, and the brand La Jouperet stays on the movement. Everybody, I mean, most of people have seen, oh, just swipe away the La Jouperet name, just put your name in the John Sale. I mean, why? Why? This is La Jouperet. I mean, they're making this, so they deserve to be on the movement. It's not a Sartory Billard movement. I have my reference, so this will be easy for the tracking, but this is a La Jouperet movement. And the case, okay, these guys, they are making the technicals. These guys are making the straps. These guys are making the cases. So I like this very much. I think my customers, they like it. And the success I have with the SBO5, and it's not even officially presented, is crazy. So I'm going to make a short story. Last Friday, so that was the 20th of March. In the morning, I had nothing prepared. I'm the worst person in marketing, PR stuff. I mean, I haven't. Did you receive any press release from me? No, you did not. No, I mean, I have something in the tube, but I'm the worst guy on this. So the next Friday morning, I'm in my workshop, and I'm saying, okay, I should announce. That would be polite to announce to my customer 1 week ahead the SBO5. So in the morning, I'm preparing something, images that you have today, like the little text, the little small page on the website. Okay, I'm making this and this and this. In the afternoon, and that was like 4 in the afternoon, I'm thinking, what if like a handful of customers, they want to buy SBO5? Or I should make a PayPal link. So, okay, let's ask 1,000 euro. I will make a PayPal link, and so they can read the page and say, okay, I'm booking. So by the end of the day, maybe I will have 5 watches that will go in for my accountant. It will be happy. Okay, so I'm making at 5 p.m. this PayPal credit card link. So by 7, I'm taking my 140 persons in my WhatsApp contact list. This is my customers, and I'm making a list, a diffusion list in WhatsApp. Copy and paste the text, blah, 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 sending the first message, and then WhatsApp crashed last Friday. You remember?
Yes.
You suffered probably also from this. So that was at 7 p.m. So the first message go through, and the second one with the website and images and stuff, that don't go through for 1 hour or something like this. I say, oh, that's what an awesome PS. I was just like, okay. Finally, the message go through, and my WhatsApp didn't quiet. It didn't stop beeping for until midnight, something like this. Over the first hour, I had 25 bookings.
Wow.
Over the first hour, I had 25 bookings. Over the weekend, on the Monday morning, I had 41.
Wow. So there's only 9 watches left.
And Monday morning, that was my first calls. In the morning, I called Mr. Bouchard from Comblemine. I called Monsieur Crovoisier from Catin. I said, okay, so now it's a little bit more than expected. What are we doing? I called also the guy from La Jouperet, saying, okay, I placed an order for 25 movements. That was my first order. So we're going to raise the bar to 50, and we're going to against the bar to 75 over 1 year period. And this Friday, so now the first 50 batches, 50 watches in the batch, I'm sorry for my English, is almost booked. And this Friday, I will open 25 more, only 25, just so I can plan 1 year of work, because I would like not to say the time to delivery is more than 1 year. I'm no one. I mean, and if you say, oh, Sartory Billard, it's 2 years time, so that would sound posh and you know, a little bit pretentious. So okay, I'm keeping the volume a little bit low, tight, but it was already 3 times as much as I expected. I planned for 25 at the beginning. So maybe I'm setting the 25 Friday, maybe I don't, but I already have a little bit more than 40 watches which are booked, which for me is just insane. And yeah, that's all my PR stunt of last Friday.
Amazing. Congratulations, brother. That's awesome. You must feel very happy.
I was really happy. I saw this. I was at home when I launched the stuff at 7 p.m. So I showed my wife. The telephone was just bling, 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 bling. That was just, she says, what happening? I said, I have sincerely no idea. But I think that easily and quite instinctively and quickly, the customers got the idea of what I could offer. The renderings that you have, they're showing just examples, like possibilities. You can have full guilloche, you have full stones, you have mix of stone and guilloche and everything. I can offer 5 different type of cases. Of course, there is steel and titanium, but I can also offer tantalum and different type of golds. And I worked really hard for the price point, because the first watch on stainless steel comes for 6,400 euro. So it's something like 6,800 Swiss franc, I guess, something like this, probably. I think, and I'm sure now with the customer feedback that it's a very good price, value for the price. And I prefer to sell and to make watches than to be a little bit pretentious, saying, oh, this watch is worth 20,000 euro and sell 2 in 1 year. That would be, yeah, but you can't imagine. I had like so many different voices from people, customers, friends, or experts in the watch industry saying, oh, you should sell this watch so much or so much or so much. At the end, I just took one week and to decide myself.
I don't hear you so well.
Is it better now?
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so I said, yeah, I prefer to have the different price point, more affordable, so more people can enjoy it. That's all.
Armand, it's an awesome watch, sir. Congratulations on your success. I love the story, and let's catch up soon. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you very much, Wei.
Take care, my brother.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.